Good morning. It is 6:44 a.m. on Monday, January 13th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Had a nice, relaxing day uh, yesterday, just hanging out, doing the relaxation thing. I have a few bits of things that happened over the weekend that I wanted to catch up on. Just, media content, so to speak. One is that I received the board game version of Root, which, I don't know, I left the box way over there. I could have shown it on screen and had like a visual aid. Something other than the talking head that usually pervades these videos. But it is a board game that was actually the original material, but I became aware of it after the Kickstarter for the RPG version of Root, which is basically, like Disney's Robin Hood or Redwall or something like that, where the basic concept is that you have a sort of no magic, sort of medieval-ish setting, but everyone's animals. And, you got the Marquise de Cat, who has moved in and taken over a lot of the woodland, but then you've got all of the foxes and bunnies and rabbits who live in those various clearings, who have put together their own Woodlands Alliance. And you've got the Eyrie of the aristocratic birds that try to rule from the roosts, and the enigmatic vagabonds who travel around. And it's all very interesting. I think it's cute and cool, and so in any event, I bought the board game version, and so I set that up and sort of played a game against myself. And it's pretty neat. I would like to play it with other people at some point. It does have a lot of pieces and everything, but all things considered, it's less work to set up than some that I've seen. Yeah, and so that was pretty fun. Also, a couple of movies that I watched for the first time over the weekend include, one is Charade, which is not a new movie by any stretch. I think it's actually 1963, something like that, starring Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant. It's a sort of a thriller mystery where Audrey Hepburn plays a character who, was planning to get a divorce. We start with her on a ski holiday, but then she returns home to Paris to find all of her furniture and everything is missing. And then apparently her husband sold all of their stuff at auction, tried to flee the country, but was murdered. And now there's other people who are after her because they think he stole their money, and now they think she must have it because he didn't have it on him when he was killed. And Cary Grant shows up as initially, oh hey, I'm just some guy who happened by, and I want to help this poor lady. But of course we learn that it's much more complicated than that. But part of the fun of the movie actually is that over and over again we start like, well, okay, but who is he really? We increasingly know that he's not who he initially said, but then he turns out to not be who he next says either, and so on and so on. And it's pretty fun. Like, it's a little silly in places, partly just it's aged into a degree of campiness. But Cary Grant and Aubrey Hepburn are always good, and it's got a lot of fun supporting cast in it too, and I liked it. Also, I watched a movie called Happy Death Day, which is a horror movie in the slasher genre. Although it's notable, I think, that this movie in particular is very light on gore for slasher movies, and in fact, it's only rated PG-13. So if gore is a reason that you might avoid slasher movies generally, I would say this one, it has some blood that we see, and certainly there are deaths that are happening, but it's not, most of it's not you know on screen, so to speak. But it's extremely clever. If you missed the previews, the basic concept is that we have this girl. It's her birthday. It's not a very good day, and then it finishes with her being murdered by someone in a weird, creepy baby mask. Where the pretense in the movie is that the baby mask is like that baby is the mascot of this college where she goes, and so someone's wearing the mascot mask essentially, but it's a creepy baby mask. And but then once she's killed, she wakes up and it's her birthday again. And so it's like Groundhog Day, except that she keeps getting murdered by this person in a baby mask. And it's very clever. It's funny. It's scary. It's everything you want a movie like that to be. I was really impressed with it. I had heard good things, but finally made a point to watch it. And what do you know? It's actually really, really good. I've heard that the sequel is also good. I'm going to check that out too. So in the meantime, though, I've got to get ready for work. So I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.